Hello everybody, my name is Tyler and welcome back to the brand new episode of WTQ, a Q&A podcast. How are you doing today? I am driving off from work. I feel relatively energized. I'm in a mid kind of feeling just because I got off from a 10-hour shift. I feel relatively tired, but I'm proud. I didn't drink any energy drinks. So far, I drank a coffee, but that's not an energy drink. That's not like a Monster or a Bang Energy that I normally drink. I feel confident and proud that later on, we're going to go to have some brunch. I'm going to have some brunch, and it's going to be very delicious. I'm happy that this is the weekend, so that means there's going to be time for me to go on twitch.tv/WTPHU and stream Horizon again. I can stream Lost Ark for the first time. I'm excited for what the weekend has in store because I want to stream. I'm just there's just a lot of things to look forward to, especially I should have time for an exercise or like for a thing to do for fitness before I go to bed. I want to do fitness. That's what I want to do. But enough about me. This is a Q&A podcast. I just have a lot of plans. Like I feel a little bit bad to leave work when I did because we didn't finish and call final. But it's honestly okay. Like that actually leads into one of the questions I have for today's episode. Let's start that off with the first question being, what small stuff do you sweat about, even though you know you shouldn't? I am currently sweating over the idea that I left work undone, incomplete. So let me explain. The way work works is that we have a certain amount of volume that comes in, and we need to call final on time, so that when we call final, our technicians can come receive the specimens, and then the sooner we get the specimens received and processed, the sooner clinics and doctors can get their results in to talk to the patients. That is the routine. The routine is we receive specimens, we process, and we send them out to get tested. The sooner they're tested, the sooner clients can get their specimens results in. The issue is we are slowly losing staff, which means we are calling final later and later. I feel slightly guilty that I left when the work wasn't done, but I shouldn't sweat over it because I shouldn't have to work more than 8 hours. Working my 8 hours is required. However, working past my 8 hours is always optional. I shouldn't feel bad for leaving when I did. I shouldn't feel bad for handing off the work to somebody else. I shouldn't feel bad for leaving work when I did, because ultimately I need to take care of my body. If I can't take care of my body, then I can't be very helpful for when my family needs me or when I need me. And I definitely need to work on self-care. But I feel guilty because in my mind, it was my responsibility to finish the work because it was handed to me. It was given to me. And I feel very self-conscious that I didn't finish the work that I started with. But it's okay. It's fine. It's honestly work. The 9 to 5 work shouldn't make or break my day. It needs to be my concern as long as I'm clocked in. But since I'm clocked out, I can't think about it. I need to understand that like once I clocked out, it's not my responsibility to get it finished. There will be people coming in to finish it. I need to just focus on myself and my family when I clock out because my responsibility for work is not there anymore. I need to eventually let go of that guilt or that kind of like work ethic, because that kind of ties into my work ethic, because I have the kind of work ethic that makes me want to finish what I started. But again, love yourself. Don't feel bad that you left work how it is. Work shouldn't be on your mind. Work shouldn't ruin your day when you're off the clock. And that's the important part when it comes to mental health, because a lot of people, I've noticed, because it's been a trend recently that I've heard, that there's always a fear of burnout, there's a fear of overworking, and I shouldn't have to subjugate myself to burnout or to injury because I'm stressed out about work. I need to leave the stress about work at work when I'm clocked in. That's I need to work on that. So the second question is actually kind of funny. The second question for the podcast is, what has been your biggest financial mistake? My biggest financial mistake, I've admitted before, but I don't remember at the time of recording if I did, but I mentioned before that I attempted to be a part of Amway. It worked out for the TLDR of Amway. I could go into Amway in a separate video, but it's in a separate audio piece. But my issue with Amway is that I believed in the dream. I believed in the idea of a system from Amway. But the reality is, this MLM program ultimately put me into a situation where I spent more money than I earned, and I shouldn't have used my credit card for those charges. Because when it comes to this particular, the way this MLM works is that you need a certain amount of business point earned, and that's from you purchasing from the company. The issue is, I spent more than I earned. I spent a lot of money on my credit card for this company, believing in the idea that I can actually be successful in it. But the reality is, I was losing for the get-go. I was losing for the get-go because I had no disposable income to be put into Amway. I had no disposable income to attempt that. I used up all my savings, and I'm slowly growing it back. Ultimately, I'm slowly growing my income back again. I'm slowly growing my assets again, finally. But Amway, it definitely left a dent in my financial pocket. It was very huge, and I wish I had the foresight to understand that if you're investing into a business, don't spend more than what you can earn. Don't spend more than what you can afford, because you don't want credit card debt. You don't want to use up all your savings when it's meant for something else. You don't want to work in that kind of environment to where it feels like a cult. It feels like I spent my time and patience in a cult that never paid forward to me. Don't recommend it. I recommend, if you were to go into business, if you were to go into your own business, spend money that you can afford. Work a 9-to-5. Work a side job if you have the schedule. If you have the time and patience to work another job, do it. Use money that you've earned to build a business. Don't build a business on credit cards, because that's going to make you fail. I learned that the hard way. I need people to understand there are better ways to get into business with yourself, with your own ventures and dreams and hopes. You can get into your business, your hustle, if you use income that you can afford. If you don't spend more than what you earn, it's just, don't trust Amway. In my experience, I shouldn't have trusted Amway. That's just, from my experience, not very good. And I've seen some of my friends drop Amway as well, so good for them. Just know. But I feel bad. But let's go ahead and move on to the last question. What's an example of when you changed your mind? Oh, my God. Why does this question ties in so perfectly to the last few? So those are really the past two questions itself were really great examples of me changing my mind, because it takes a certain mettle to understand. It takes a certain discipline to understand that you can't spend more than what you make, because believing in a dream can only do so much for you, and you just need to understand that you have to make an understanding that you need to change your mind when the thing you're thinking about has no positive returns. If there's no positive return of you working the overtime, and the trade-off is your health and your arthritis, don't do the overtime. If you're getting more negatives than positives in working in a business, then move somewhere else or just leave the business. Don't do the MLM. Don't do the side hustle that takes more out of your time and patience, time and schedule than you want it to, because your time is valuable. Just don't do it. You need to make change a situation to where you have to stand your ground on what makes you happy. You need to stand your ground on if it gives you time, if it sells you time, if it gives you opportunities, do the opportunity. But if this opportunity that you're trying to do puts you in a compromising position, don't do it. Stand your ground and say no. You move. Oh Lord, I'm sorry. These questions are just making me think back to my mistakes with Amway. I guess I'll just say it right here, just because I really thought that by working the business of Amway, I could actually make it a passive income and hustle with it so that I could make more money. I was expecting myself to make more money, and for a little bit of time I actually did. I feel, and when I made the money, the individuals that were my downline, they joined willingly, and I couldn't have asked for better people who gave me a chance. They gave me a chance, but that they were the smart ones that did not spend more than their budget, and I wish I had that foresight. I spent so much money on the venture of Amway, that I ended up becoming in credit debt. So I'm hacking at it. I'm hacking at increasing my savings again, and I need to do this more intimately, because the funniest thing is that despite the worst part about this is that despite the whole attempts at doing Amway, despite the whole thing about trying to believe in the dream, believing in the business model, I wasn't so focused. So because it was so funny, because I thought I could do everything at the same time. I thought I had the capacity to work at Target, work at my aquatics job, work on YouTube, and work Amway all at the same time. When the reality is, Amway was eating at my budget, and I should have quit the moment it was using my credit card. The moment I was using my credit card to pay for the expenses, I was losing. I was losing a situation where the business model for Amway was not fit for my personality and my skill sets. I had a very bad set of skill sets when it came to conversation, and I wish I could have articulated at the time that I needed to stay on my budget, and sometimes that might have meant not putting money in Amway, in the business, because at the time I definitely messed up on where I put my chips and put my money. But Yeah, I don't recommend doing Amway. I don't recommend it, and it for as much bad rap as MLM's receiving, because multi-level marketing is always a bad thing to be a part of, because it's not the best practice. You could always make money doing anything else, but it's definitely not the recommended. So I don't know. I'll have to, before I make a opinion on like whether or not other options for MLM is a bad thing, I do want to admit that Beachbody, for example, Beachbody was a good company to be a part of, and their programs to earn money by being a coach and having downline coaches and you're the upline coach, that kind of model. That would have saved me in retrospect. If I had the opportunity again in 2015, if I had the foresight knowing that I would have been happier working a Beachbody business over an Amway business, I would have done Beachbody. I would have done Beachbody because I had the disposable income at the time, and the fact that, well, I mean, how do I explain this? I would have loved to do Beachbody at the time a lot more than I would have Amway, because it's fitness. I am the proof of the product, which is the fitness and the nutrition. I drink Energize. I drink the Hydrate. I drink Shakeology sometimes from Beachbody. I like their products for nutrition. I like their programs. P90X was great when I was in high school. T25 Insanity was great during high school. Those programs, fitness programs, are really good. And when it comes to the whole MLM programs, I feel like it's understandable that you put in as much time as you can afford, but never at the cost of your integrity. You can't go into a business that sacrifices your integrity, your time with family, your respect from family and friends. And Beachbody would have given me a better chance at maintaining my health. My health is not the best right now, but I'm working on it. I'm improving on it. The chin right here is going to go away eventually. I would have had more time working as a fitness coach, because I remember a time where I was thinking about doing a personal training program that LA Fitness was promoting. Like they would always promote programs to where you can go to this workshop for 2-3 days. You can earn your license. You can earn your license as a personal trainer. I already had experience as like a personal trainer per se, because I worked at aquatics. I worked for aquatics for 6 years, and I had the opportunity to do private lessons. So that's kind of like personal training, but for aquatics. So I had the experience. I should have, if anything else, I should have tried Beachbody, but I didn't have the space. It's so funny. So at the time of 2015, I didn't have the living space to do Beachbody programs. So I don't know. I would have, if I were to do that, I would have been more invested in the nutrition, because I could have worked out by myself. And then when I had the space to do it, I would have done the exercise programs then, because at the end of, during the summer of 2016, I had space to do an exercise per se. And then I have more space now that I lived in Kirkland. So I lived in Kirkland since 2016, I believe. Very happy with it. However, during my, I was really bad. But I'll just go ahead and end the episode right here, just because I just got home. We're going to do brunch soon. I'm going to return some stuff from Party City, and I'm going to be very happy with what today is going to have in store for me. I'm going to put my best foot forward. I'm going to enjoy the day, and I'm going to be okay. Because today is going to be a great day. Because you're you, and that's enough. Thank you guys so much for watching and listening. Hope you enjoyed the show. If you liked it, please make sure you subscribe on YouTube, follow on Twitch, follow me. My socials are WTPHU. It's on the internet. I didn't expect myself to do a deep dive in Amway and MLMs. I'm sorry. I'm sorry if you didn't. I'm sorry if you didn't intend on listening to stuff like that. MLMs are a part of everybody's business now. People are like trying to keep others away from MLMs. There's a scare on on multi-level marketing. It is a bad business practice. People have gone to jail because of it, I think. And definitely try it for a month. Definitely. I don't recommend Amway. That's for sure. I recommend Beachbody. Beachbody helps you get the beach body you deserve. And it's healthy. It's, if anything else, it's a cheaper, healthier marketing venture than most. So I'm gonna leave right here. I can't do outros. I'm very bad with outros and bad with ending videos. But thanks for watching, and as always, my name's Tyler. I'm your friend, and I'll see you next time. Bye.